Let me be brutally honest with you. You're not broke because life is unfair. You're not stuck because opportunity has passed you. You are where you are because fear has been ruling you. Fear has dictated your choices more than faith has. Fear made you stay in a job you despised instead of building your dream. Fear silenced you when you had an idea that could have changed your life. Fear told you to wait. Wait for the perfect moment. Wait for approval. Wait for more money until the moment was gone. And here's the truth. You've called fear by noble names. You've dressed it up as patience, caution, or wisdom. But it wasn't wisdom. It was slavery. Think back. That promotion you didn't pursue, fear stopped you. That business you never started, fear stopped you. That truth you never spoke, fear stopped you. Meanwhile, someone with less talent but more courage seized the opportunity, and you called him lucky. But he wasn't lucky. He was fearless while you were afraid. Fear has cost you more than poverty ever could. Poverty can be reversed in a year, but fear can waste a lifetime. And here's the part most people don't want to hear. Fear will never go away. It will whisper tomorrow, just like it whispered yesterday. It will always tell you to wait longer, to play safe, to hold back. If you're waiting for fear to disappear, you've already lost. The only way out is rebellion. And rebellion doesn't mean shouting or pretending to be brave. True rebellion is quiet defiance. It's making the decision you fear, speaking the truth you've been hiding, taking the step you've postponed. It's acting even with trembling hands and fear in your chest. Every time you act in spite of fear, its grip weakens. Every choice you make against it, its throne shrinks. So say this to yourself. Fear is not my master. I won't call cowardice prudence. I won't call hesitation wisdom. I won't call delay caution. Fear is a liar, and I will not obey a liar another day. Because here's the dangerously honest truth. Fear is the reason you are not yet who you could have been. And if you don't confront it now, it will make sure you never become that person. Fear has destroyed more men than bullets, broken more homes than famine, silenced more dreams than poverty. And while you keep blaming circumstances, deep down you know it. Fear is the real enemy. It doesn't strike all at once. It eats you slowly in small bites until you're hollowed out. That's the wreckage I've seen in countless lives. People full of excuses, justifications, and reasons why they failed. But beneath all of it was fear. And the only way to break free? To act, even when you're afraid. Fear is not going away, but it can be overthrown. The choice is yours. Will you let fear rule you another day? Or will you rebel, starting now? They feared failure, and so they never even tried. That's the truth. Fear is the jailer of greatness, and it wears many masks. 6 ghosts haunt nearly every one of us. The fear of poverty, the fear of criticism, the fear of ill health, the fear of losing love, the fear of old age, and the fear of death. These ghosts are invisible, but make no mistake, they're real. They stalk you in your hesitation, in your doubts, in your half-hearted attempts. And until you recognize them, they will keep controlling you. The fear of poverty? That's what keeps people chained to jobs they hate. They call it practical, but the truth is, they're just afraid of the unknown. The fear of criticism? That's why so many ideas die before they're even spoken. Not because the ideas are bad, but because the person is afraid of ridicule. Fear guards the gate, and genius withers inside. The fear of ill health? It robs people of energy even when they're perfectly fine. It whispers weakness into strong bodies. The fear of losing love? It traps people in draining relationships, making them believe they're nothing on their own. The fear of old age? It convinces people it's too late. And the fear of death? It makes people live as if they're already buried. These 6 fears are thieves, but they don't steal all at once. They chip away at you daily, hesitation by hesitation, excuse by excuse, delay by delay. They keep you busy, but never progressing. They keep you safe, but never victorious. Let me give you an example. R.U. Darby, the man who chased a gold vein in Colorado. He dug, worked, believed until the gold seemed gone. Fear whispered defeat. He quit. He sold his claim. But the man who bought it? He dug just 3 feet deeper and struck one of the richest deposits ever found. Darby didn't lose because of luck. He lost because of fear. And his story has been repeated by millions of men, quitting one step before success. And let's be brutally honest, fear has already stolen from you too. It has taken years you'll never get back. It has stolen decisions you never made, friendships you never built, opportunities you never seized. Fear has robbed you of fortunes, victories, and freedom. And it will keep stealing until you finally confront it. The problem is, we like to disguise fear. We call it caution. We call it prudence. We call it waiting for the right time. But let's be clear, that's a lie. Wisdom evaluates, then acts. Fear evaluates endlessly, then delays. Wisdom takes counsel and decides. Fear takes counsel as an excuse not to decide. You say you're waiting for the right moment? I'll tell you, the right time never comes. Fear will always find another reason. No money, no experience, no certainty. Fear never runs out of excuses. And while you wait, life passes. Time runs out. And all that's left is regret. I've seen men with ideas that could change entire industries. Ideas that died in silence because of the fear of criticism. Later, another man with less talent and less education spoke the same idea boldly and built a fortune. What was the difference? Not talent, not education, only fear. I've seen men rot in jobs they despised, hiding behind security. But security is just a prison for the timid. The bars are invisible, but real. And behind them, potential dies. Meanwhile, the fearless risk-takers, those willing to step out, seize wealth, freedom, and fulfillment. The difference was never chance. The difference was fear. So ask yourself, how long will you let fear write your story? Fear has no mercy. It doesn't care about your talents, your dreams, or your potential. Fear has only one goal, to paralyze you. It whispers until you doubt yourself. It magnifies every obstacle until you believe it's impossible. It invents excuses until you accept mediocrity. And it disguises itself as reason until surrender feels wise. But strip away the disguise, and you see the truth. Fear is a liar. Say this with me. Fear is not my master. Fear does not command me. I see its disguises and I strip them away. I will not call cowardice prudence. I will not call hesitation wisdom. I will not call excuses reason. Fear is a liar, and I will not obey it another day. Here's the truth. Fear is mankind's greatest enemy. It has enslaved more men than chains, imprisoned more minds than tyrants, broken more homes than poverty, and ruined more businesses than competition. Fear is not out there. It's inside of you. And until you conquer it within, no external victory will last. Here's the truth. Fear is mankind's greatest enemy. It has enslaved more men than chains, imprisoned more minds than tyrants, broken more homes than poverty, and ruined more businesses than competition. Fear is not out there. It's inside of you. And until you conquer it within, no external victory will last. Fear is the tyrant inside. Look at your own life. Where has fear silenced you? Where has it stolen from you? What dream have you postponed? What decision have you avoided? What opportunity did you decline because fear whispered in your ear? You know the answer. Don't lie to yourself. Drag your fear into the light. Only then can you crush it. Fear doesn't just whisper defeat. It enslaves the mind. It puts invisible chains around your thoughts. It narrows your vision until opportunity disappears. It hypnotizes you into indecision. This is what I call drifting and outwitting the devil. Drifting is the state of those ruled by fear. It is the slow death of purpose. A drifter is not always lazy. Sometimes he is busy, frantic, always moving, but moving without progress, talking without deciding, planning without executing. His mind is like a ship without a rudder, pushed by every current, controlled by every stronger will. That is how fear makes slaves of men who think they are free. Fear distorts perception. It magnifies risk until it looks overwhelming. It shrinks opportunity until it looks worthless. It paints shadows into monsters. And the timid man, believing the illusion, retreats. The bold man sees it for what it is, phantoms, and advances. One drifts into mediocrity. The other seizes destiny. And I know this slavery personally. There was a time when fear ruled me. After the murder of my associate Don Mellet, I received death threats. I fled into the mountains of West Virginia, and there for months I hid. My body was strong, but my mind was chained. I knew the principles of success, but I could not apply them. Fear paralyzed me. Each night, I told myself I'd change tomorrow. Each morning, fear whispered, "Not today." And so I drifted, trapped by invisible chains. That was my living death. Until one night, I walked, repeating to myself, "There's a way out, and I will find it." I walked until something awakened inside me, my other self. And in that moment, a new force rose within me, faith. Faith, the antidote to fear. Fear had enslaved me until I chose definiteness. Faith and definiteness. Those are the forces that shatter fear's hypnosis. Because here's how fear enslaves you. It convinces you to wait, to hide, to settle. It whispers that you're cautious, that you're prudent, that you're protecting yourself. But beneath those words is bondage. You are not cautious, you are paralyzed. You are not prudent, you are defeated. You are not protecting yourself. You are enslaving yourself to fear. Fear convinces men to settle for less than they desire. It whispers, "Be content with this," even while their souls hunger for more. It persuades them to stay in safe jobs, even though they crave freedom. It silences them, even when truth burns in their throats. It bends their lives to the expectations of others. Fear's counsel is always surrender. Every hesitation makes fear stronger. Every excuse tightens its grip. Every moment of overthinking is laughter for fear, because you chose paralysis over progress. Over time, the hypnosis deepens. Men stop noticing the chains. They accept mediocrity as natural. They call slavery realism. They call surrender wisdom. Say this with me now. Fear does not command me. I think with definiteness. I act with courage. My mind is not a prison. It is my kingdom. I will not drift. I will not surrender to hesitation. I will not believe fear's lies. I choose definiteness. I walk in courage. I build my life by faith, not fear. My thoughts are free. My destiny is mine. Because the enslaved mind cannot imagine. It cannot plan. It cannot believe. It only reacts. That is why men who drift remain servants. They cannot rise beyond routine. They live as pawns because fear stole their definiteness. But courage breaks chains. Only by courage can a man govern himself. Fear blinds opportunity. The bold man and the fearful man look at the same facts, but one sees danger, the other sees a door. One sees defeat, the other sees a challenge. Opportunity never disappears. It only becomes invisible to the enslaved mind. Fear convinces men to follow the crowd. It whispers that safety is in numbers. But the crowd is made of drifters, bound not by courage, but by fear. Fear of poverty, so they cling to jobs they despise. Fear of criticism, so they silence their uniqueness. Fear of risk, so they bury ambition. The crowd is fear's congregation. But faith is the escape. Faith restores vision. Faith rebuilds imagination. Faith rekindles desire. Faith commands action. Where fear enslaves, faith liberates. Where fear blinds, faith reveals. Where fear paralyzes, faith empowers. Faith is the weapon to overthrow fear's tyranny. It is the antidote to drifting. Understand this. Fear is not a warning. Fear is a liar. It promises protection, but delivers paralysis. It whispers safety, but delivers slavery. It says wait, but delivers wasted years. It says you can't, but delivers regret. Fear's bill always comes due, and it is always paid in full with your life. Think about it. Every hesitation, every postponed decision, every buried dream, that is fear's theft. And the cost is fortunes, relationships, health, and years that you can never recover. I have seen men of talent starve, not from lack of opportunity, but from lack of courage to seize it. They sat on ideas that could have shaped industries, but they feared criticism. So they wrote nothing, spoke nothing, built nothing, And years later, a less gifted but more daring man took the same idea and built an empire. The difference? Not talent, not luck, only fear. I have seen families destroyed by fear. A father clinging to the illusion of safety, hiding behind a meager wage. His children growing up believing timidity was a virtue. His fear poisoning generations. Fear's price is never paid by one man alone. It is paid by everyone under his influence, until someone breaks the chain. The fear of poverty is the most common thief. It convinces men to cling to security, but in reality, they surrender freedom. They stay in jobs that drain their souls. They say, "At least I'm safe." Safe from what? Safe from growth? Safe from destiny? The man who fears poverty never escapes it. He pays the price daily, in wasted time and untapped potential. The fear of criticism strangles ambition. How many voices never spoken? How many books unwritten? How many ventures unattempted? All because of what will they think of me? And those critics? They're forgotten in years. But their ghost lives on in the silence of the man who feared them. Fear of criticism has cost mankind more than war. Fear of ill health robs strength before sickness arrives. Fear of losing love enslaves men to unworthy relationships. Fear of old age convinces them to stop building. Fear of death robs them of life itself. Every fear extracts a price, and unless you face it, fear will collect it in full. Look around. Look at history. Look at your own life. How many destinies has fear already stolen? Historical proof of rebellion against fear: Lincoln, Edison, Rockefeller, Ford, Carnegie, Schwab. Each faced ridicule, criticism, failure, and fierce resistance, yet refused to bow to fear. Their greatness was not luck, but rebellion against hesitation and timidity. Lincoln endured ridicule, still rose to history's moment. Edison turned endless failures into the light bulb. Rockefeller thrived in chaos and built an empire. Ford ignored experts, kept his vision alive. Carnegie and Schwab embraced boldness, built industries. The pattern: fear whispered quit, rebellion shouted continue. Practical training to defeat fear. This part transitions from inspiration into a manual for courage, showing how to systematically train the mind to rebel against fear. Definiteness of purpose: a clear goal burns away doubt. Drifters are weak because they lack a strong why. Repetition of faith daily affirmations reprogram the subconscious. Fear multiplies if repeated. Faith multiplies if repeated. Autosuggestion: writing, reading, speaking, and picturing your purpose imprints courage into the subconscious. Habit of small bold acts: courage is built like muscle by small daily defiance. Speak when afraid. Act when uncertain. Decide when hesitant. Schwab practiced courage by speaking with conviction far beyond his years. He trained his voice to command authority. Fearlessness is not recklessness. The reckless man acts without thought. The fearless man acts with definiteness. He sees the risks, but refuses to bow before them. He trains himself to view obstacles as stepping stones, criticism as fuel, and defeat as instruction. His mind is disciplined to turn every event into his advantage. This training transforms fear from master into servant, from obstacle into teacher. Train your mind to expect difficulty. Do not be shocked by resistance. Welcome it as part of growth. Every time fear rises, you have an opportunity to train courage. Every time you conquer hesitation, you strengthen your will. Every time you persist against doubt, you sharpen your edge. The battlefield of the mind is fought daily, and training is never finished. You must drill courage every single day. Say this with me: I am not fear's servant. I trust. I persist. I master. My habits are bold. My thoughts are definite. My faith is trained. My actions are certain. I will not tremble at obstacles. I will not retreat at criticism. I will not surrender at defeat. I have trained my mind to rise. I have drilled my spirit to conquer. I am fear's master, and victory is mine. This is the truth. Crises do not make men. They reveal them. The untrained collapse. The trained rise higher. You cannot wait for the storm to prepare. You must practice courage in the calm. Drill daily. So when fear roars, your reflex is defiance. You won't need to think. Your habits will act for you. Carnegie, Ford, Schwab. None of them were free from fear. But they trained their minds until faith grew stronger. They drilled courage until it became instinct. They practiced boldness until hesitation was foreign. Their victories weren't accidents. They were the result of training. You must do the same. Discipline your thoughts, your words, your actions until courage becomes your nature. That is the price of mastery. Most men see fear only as an enemy. But fear can be a teacher. When fear rises, it reveals exactly where you must grow. What you fear most is the lesson you most need. If you fear speaking, you must speak. If you fear risk, you must risk. If you fear failure, you must attempt. Fear doesn't point to your limit. It points to your next level. The man who avoids his fears surrenders mastery. He hides from the very training that would make him strong. But the man who steps into fear discovers its spell weakens. Each act of courage loosens its grip. Each retreat tightens its chains. Fear teaches courage only to those who confront it. My own son, born without ears, could have been crippled by fear. Doctors said he would never hear, never speak. But I refused that verdict. I trained him with faith and persistence. He faced ridicule, yet he rose above it. Because he believed he could, he did. Fear taught him that weakness could become strength if faced with courage. Henry Ford faced the constant fear of impossibility. Experts told him a single block V8 engine could never be built. Fear whispered they were right. Yet he persisted. He walked into the impossibility until it yielded. The impossible became reality because he refused to accept fear as master. Fear taught him endurance, and endurance gave him triumph. Adversity often carries the seed of equal advantage. That seed is buried in the soil of fear. Where you fear the most lies your greatest opportunity. The timid never harvest it because they avoid it. The courageous face it and discover hidden treasure. Fear exposes the exact direction of your mastery. Fear is the map to your power. Say with me now, fear is my teacher, not my master. It shows me where to grow, and I obey. I do not retreat. I do not hide. I step into the fire of fear until it loses its power. I transform its threat into instruction. I take fear's seed and grow advantage. Fear does not destroy me. It instructs me. I learn. I rise. I master. Do not misunderstand me. Fear will never vanish. It will appear again at every new level. But instead of dreading it, welcome it. Say to yourself, here is my next lesson. Each fear faced makes the next one easier. Each mountain climbed makes the next less steep. Soon, what once terrified you becomes routine. Your horizon expands. This is the growth of mastery. Lincoln feared the collapse of the Union. Each day in the White House was filled with doubt, with opposition, with voices demanding surrender. But he leaned into the fear. He let it teach him patience, endurance, and unyielding focus. And by doing so, he preserved a nation. His greatness was not the absence of fear. It was his refusal to let fear master him. Fear became his tutor in fortitude. Ask yourself now, what do I fear most? Is it poverty? Then your lesson is bold enterprise. Is it criticism? Then your lesson is to speak truth and endure ridicule. Is it failure? Then your lesson is persistence until victory. The fear you resist will persist. The fear you confront dissolves. The lesson you avoid becomes your prison. Say with me, fear is my teacher, not my master. It shows me the way. It reveals my next step. It is not my ruler, but my guide. I face it. I obey its lesson. And I rise higher. Each fear I conquer expands my power. Each fear I face strengthens my faith. I'm not fear's victim. I am its student, and I will graduate as master. You may feel fear as trembling, as doubt, as hesitation. Do not wait for it to disappear. Move while it shakes you. Speak while your voice quivers. Act while your knees knock. For when you act, you prove fear is powerless. It may rattle your body, but it cannot command your will. And once you've acted, you laugh at the phantom that once chained you. This is the paradox. Fear loses its power only when you face it. It grows stronger the more you run. Many spend their lives running, feeding their enemy. The courageous stop running. They turn, face it, and walk through it. On the other side, they find strength they never knew they had. The seed of advantage blooms where fear once stood. And beyond training, beyond rebellion, beyond even using fear as teacher, there's a higher stage. The stage where you live above fear altogether. This is not recklessness. This is mastery. The building of a mental fortress so strong that fear may knock at your gates, but it cannot enter. That fortress is built with 5 stones. Faith, the foundation. Without it, all crumbles. Definiteness, the wall that directs every force toward your purpose. Persistence, the guard who never sleeps. Imagination, the tower that sees beyond the horizon. Organized planning, the structure that holds it all. Lincoln's mind was such a fortress. War split his nation. Critics screamed for surrender. He listened, but inside, he remained steady. Faith anchored him. Definiteness directed him. Persistence sustained him. Imagination envisioned unity when others saw only ruin. Planning guided every decision. Fear raged outside, but within he was calm. You too can build such a fortress. Guard your subconscious from the poison of critics. Feed it faith. Strengthen it with definiteness each morning. Train persistence with daily action. Let imagination stretch you beyond fear's illusions. Shape organized plans so fear cannot scatter you. Say with me now, my mind is a fortress. No fear can enter. I guard its gates. I rule my thoughts. I feed only faith, definiteness, persistence, imagination, and order. I reject doubt. I reject hesitation. I reject drifting. I am calm. I am steady. I am unshakable. Fear may roar outside, but inside, I am sovereign. This is living above fear, not denying its existence, but denying its entrance. You may still hear it knock. You may still see it circle, but you will not open the gate. You will look down from your tower with calm eyes and continue your purpose. This steadiness is the crown of mastery. Not reckless energy, not frantic noise, but calm power. The man who has built his fortress is steady while others tremble. His faith stands while others collapse. This is the mark of true mastery. But persistence must patrol the walls. Every day, fear seeks an opening. Doubts disguised as reason, criticism disguised as advice, hesitation disguised as caution. If you do not persist, they slip inside. But persistence shuts them out. Faith must be renewed constantly. A fortress neglected crumbles. So repeat it. Affirm it. Feed your mind with conviction daily. The subconscious thrives on repetition. Each affirmation lays another stone. Soon, faith is natural and fear becomes foreign. Imagination must lift your vision. Fear shrinks horizons. Imagination expands them. Picture yourself victorious. Feel the freedom. Hear the applause. See the life you demand. This keeps your fortress alive with power. Planning must order your actions. Disorder invites fear. Order expels it. Plan your days, your weeks, your work. Each plan is a stone. Soon, your life is ordered and fear has no room to scatter you. Say again, my mind is a fortress. I guard its gates. I rule myself. I feed it faith, definiteness, persistence, imagination, and planning. I reject doubt. I reject drifting. I am calm. I am steady. I am sovereign. Fear may whisper lies, but I answer with truth. Fear says, tomorrow. Mastery answers, now. Fear says, you are not ready. Mastery replies, I act. And in acting, I become ready. Fear says, you may fail. Mastery declares, I will persist until I succeed. Mastery is not the absence of fear. It is domination of fear by decisive action and unwavering faith. Edison feared wasted years, but persisted until light came. Ford feared ridicule, but built his car for the masses. Carnegie feared poverty, but forged an empire. Lincoln feared ruin, but preserved a nation. They did not wait for fear to leave. They acted in spite of it. They turned fear into fuel. Say with me, Fear is not my master. I live by faith. Idicide. I act. I persist. I crush hesitation. I burned out. I rise above fear. Now you stand at the gate of mastery. The choice is simple. Drift or act. Fear thrives in delay. Destiny rewards decision. Do not treat these words as passing inspiration. Treat them as drills for your mind. Return daily. Repeat until they become identity. Speak until they carve conviction into your subconscious. Fear is not my master. I live by faith. I act now. I persist tomorrow. I build my fortress. I master fear. And when fear whispers again, your trained mind will answer without thought. For fear is only the shadow. You're the substance.